WWE's meticulous blueprint for John Cena's heel turn is not a short-term attraction, nor a mere nostalgic nod to his past. It is a calculated, long-arc master plan designed to both immortalize Cena's career and solidify the future of WWE's main event landscape for the next decade. This is not about a quick cash grab WrestleMania feud or the novelty of Cena finally embracing his darker instincts. It's about the art of exit, the gravity of legacy transfer, and the rare spectacle of an icon being permanently dethroned by a generational rival. Cena's final match is being orchestrated as the ultimate passing of the torch, but WWE understands that not just any opponent can be worthy enough to deliver the conclusive death blow to the most polarizing figure in modern wrestling history. The stakes demand a peerless combination of in-ring pedigree, cultural relevance, storyline equity, and believable star power. Anything less would squander the magnitude of Cena's endgame. WWE's master plan centers around three meticulously chosen contenders: Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk, each with their own unique narrative architecture and long-term benefit for the company. Seth Rollins represents the natural evolution of WWE's in-ring identity and philosophical future. He is arguably the most complete all-around performer of his generation, seamlessly blending technical mastery, modern athleticism, and mainstream charisma. More importantly, Rollins' historical arc with Cena has always hovered in the background, but never fully climaxed. Their 2015 rivalry during Rollins' first world title run gave fans a glimpse of their chemistry, but it lacked the finality and thematic richness that a true end-of-career storyline requires. Rollins, as the man to retire heel John Cena, would operate on two levels. First, it would frame Rollins as the wrestler who finally conquered the embodiment of WWE's previous era of sanitized heroism. Second, it would retroactively validate Rollins' decade-long quest to escape the shadow of Cena's old-school archetype. In the context of Cena's heel run, where he weaponizes his corporate stature, manipulates narratives, and revels in his control of WWE's machinery, Rollins would be the defiant counterbalance, the indie-bred, workhorse champion who overcame politics, injuries, betrayals, and moral ambiguity to stand atop the company authentically. WWE envisions Rollins retiring Cena as an endorsement of a wrestling-first future, where storytelling intricacy and in-ring craft define the top star, not merely merchandise sales and homogenized appeal. From a booking standpoint, Rollins retiring Cena catapults him into the pantheon of definitive all-time greats while firmly positioning him as the veteran tentpole for WWE's next 5 years. It also completes Rollins' babyface journey in poetic fashion, defeating a power-drunk Cena who mirrors the corporate favoritism Rollins fought against in his own career. Roman Reigns, however, offers an entirely different, perhaps even more lucrative framework for Cena's swan song. Reigns' character arc as the tribal chief is predicated on supremacy, family honor, and the erasure of all doubt. Cena was the one man who Reigns had to verbally annihilate in 2017 to cement his own legitimacy. And although Reigns defeated Cena at SummerSlam 2021, the match lacked the career-defining finality WWE is now engineering. Roman sending Cena into retirement is more than just an individual victory. It would serve as the symbolic completion of WWE's generational handoff from the ruthless aggression era to the modern bloodline-dominated saga. Roman defeating Cena as a heel versus heel clash would mark the ultimate battle of egos and dynastic power. WWE understands the visual gravity of Reigns standing over Cena's fallen body, holding both the figurative and literal crown as the final undisputed face of the company's transition into its next era. Beyond aesthetics, the value of Reigns retiring Cena is embedded in tribal storytelling. Cena's heel persona can be framed as the ultimate outsider who tried to usurp the Samoan dynasty's chokehold on WWE's legacy. Roman conquering Cena's last rebellion reinforces his mythology as WWE's true final boss, a gatekeeper that transcends eras. For Reigns himself, such a victory would be the exclamation point on a Hall of Fame resume that already boasts victories over Brock Lesnar, Undertaker, and Edge. Beating Cena into retirement legitimizes Roman's already peerless reign as not just dominant, but eternal. The merchandise, mainstream coverage, and network specials surrounding such an outcome would eclipse typical retirement matches because the Bloodline saga's emotional investment would bleed into the finale seamlessly. WWE's master plan with Roman is less about boosting Reigns' short-term stock. He's already an apex star, and more about canonizing him as the definitive face of 21st century WWE history. Then there is CM Punk, the wild card with the richest narrative potential of the three. Punk retiring Cena would not be merely a wrestling angle, it would be a cultural reckoning. Their philosophical clash has always transcended kayfabe. Punk embodies anti-establishment, grassroots authenticity, while Cena symbolizes the WWE system and its relentless commercialism. Their legendary rivalry from 2011 birthed the Summer of Punk, but it ended unresolved when creative constraints and backstage turmoil truncated its natural progression. Now, with Punk's shocking 2023 WWE return and Cena's heel turn, The table is set to revisit and conclusively end the most complex rivalry of the modern era. Punk retiring Cena would fulfill a decade-long fan fantasy, allowing the voice of the voiceless to finally silence the corporate machine that marginalized him. Moreover, Punk's personal redemption arc, returning after nearly a decade of exile, overcoming injuries, legal battles, and AEW chaos, makes him the perfect narrative foil for Cena's manipulative, power-hungry heel character. WWE's master plan banks on the visceral crowd investment that only Punk versus Cena can generate, a combustible cocktail of realism, historical grievances, and ideological warfare. Punk vanquishing Cena would not only vindicate his own career, but also symbolically shatter the glass ceiling that Cena represented for countless wrestlers who felt stifled under WWE's sanitized main event scene. Punk's victory is the most emotionally satisfying and cathartically potent option because it leverages genuine history, not just manufactured storyline beats. The long-term benefit for WWE is equally enticing. Punk, as the man who retired Cena, would be bulletproof in terms of legacy, opening the door for dream matches and mentorship roles where he elevates the next generation under the aura of the man who finally ended Cena's tyranny. From a business perspective, the merchandise, documentaries, and global buzz of Punk definitively retiring Cena surpass anything else WWE could script. Each candidate, Rollins, Reigns, and Punk, represents a distinct thematic avenue in WWE's master plan. Rollins is the in-ring savant and workhorse emblem. Reigns is the dynastic juggernaut and company pillar. Punk is the cultural disruptor and conscience of disaffected fans. Cena's heel turn allows WWE to craft long, intricate feuds with all three simultaneously across different pay-per-view cycles, subtly building anticipation for which of the trio will ultimately be chosen as his executioner. Crucially, WWE is deliberately pacing Cena's heel run with echoes of Hollywood Hogan's NWO arc, not in aesthetic, but in how Cena uses real-life clout, backstage pull, and industry status as character weapons. By the time Cena's final match arrives, the crowd's emotional fatigue and storyline heat will peak organically, ensuring that the retirement bout feels like an earned culmination rather than a marketing gimmick. Behind the scenes, WWE's TKO-era corporate strategy also aligns perfectly with this master plan. The company craves mainstream cross-generational moments to boost network renewals, premium live event subscriptions, and international expansion. Cena's retirement match, especially against any of these three, functions as a WrestleMania weekend tentpole that bridges older casual fans with younger hardcore audiences. There's also the matter of Cena himself. Privately, Cena has indicated that he prefers to retire on his back, doing the honors in traditional fashion, and he has significant creative input over how that happens. WWE's willingness to accommodate Cena's long-standing insistence on putting over the right guy means the selection process between Rollins, Reigns, and Punk is as much about personal respect as storyline logic. All three have existing, real-life rapport with Cena, ensuring professional trust and match quality. There's a practical in-ring consideration as well. At nearly 48 years old by the time of his projected final match, Cena's physical limitations will necessitate an opponent capable of carrying pace, psychology, and dramatic storytelling without exposing Cena's slowed athleticism. Rollins is arguably the safest and most consistent worker of the trio. Reigns, with his methodical main event style, can mask Cena's age with character-driven pacing. Punk, with his ring IQ and veteran adaptability, can orchestrate a storytelling-heavy bout reminiscent of Bret Hart's 1990s Swan songs. WWE's master plan accounts for all of these logistical variables to ensure the final match feels grand but not hollow. Financially, all three options offer substantial returns. Rollins versus Cena, as Cena's retirement match solidifies Rollins as the undisputed face of Raw and a merchandising juggernaut for younger demographics. Reigns versus Cena enhances international markets where the Bloodline saga resonates heavily, particularly in Europe and the Middle East. Punk versus Cena delivers massive crossover appeal in North America, capitalizing on lapsed fan nostalgia and the enduring cultural footprint of the pipe bomb era. WWE's master plan is to stagger teases, promos, and confrontations with all three over an 18-month stretch, creating a "Who Will End Cena" narrative thread that fuels ratings and pay-per-view buys. Equally important is the ceremonial gravitas WWE plans to inject into Cena's final run. The company envisions a Hall of Fame induction coinciding with his retirement bout, a docu-series chronicling his career, and cross-promotional marketing leveraging his Hollywood career to amplify mainstream buzz. The Endgame is not merely Cena's final match, but the entire media spectacle surrounding it, designed to drive shareholder value and reassert WWE's cultural relevance post-McMahon era. By anchoring Cena's last storyline around Rollins, Reigns, and Punk, each representing different pillars of WWE's past, present, and future, the master plan creates an unprecedented convergence point in modern wrestling history. The true brilliance of WWE's strategy lies in its layered storytelling flexibility. If the company senses audience fatigue or injury derails one candidate, the other two remain viable fallback options. Rollins' universal popularity ensures a babyface climax. Reigns' unmatched credibility guarantees box office success. Punk's raw authenticity promises cultural catharsis. No matter who is ultimately chosen, Cena's retirement match will stand as the definitive modern wrestling epilogue, an exclamation point that elevates both the victor and WWE's narrative legacy for years to come. The careful orchestration of Cena's heel descent and climactic fall is not just an end to his era, but a launchpad for the next epic of sports entertainment dominance.